Guys, so it's Stacy from My Petite Garden. I've been trying to film something for you guys for the past week or so, but it's been literally raining every single day for this whole week. So I just figured, you know what, I'll just film something now because I don't know when the weather's gonna let up and give me a sunny day to film. So anyways, today it is pouring outside, but I think we can manage. So if you guys can tell, I have here my Caudex plants, and a lot of you guys have been asking me to film something in regards to how I care for my Caudex plants, and in particular this guy, my Philanthus mirabilis. So today we're gonna just quickly go over some of the ways that I care for these guys. It's gonna be a fairly quick video because to be honest, I don't think I do too much that is different for these guys versus my other plants. So I'll get started. Let's start with this guy here. This is my Philanthus mirabilis, and I get a lot of questions from you guys regarding this particular Caudex and how I kind of care for it. So we are now at the end of October, and I expected him to kind of start going into dormancy soon. He still seems to be growing, which is kind of surprising, but whatever it is, I don't mind if he wants to continue growing. So if you take a look, he is potted up in a terracotta pot. So just a little bit of a backstory. When I first got this plant, it is just this tube here. It's just a little potato bulb. There were no roots, nothing. So you'll see the way I have this guy planted. That's the top of it right here, if you can see. So what it looked like was just basically this one big stump. And the way I had it potted, I have it potted in a pretty shallow pot. It's a terracotta pot. And I just potted, I would say maybe a third of the stump. Most of it is just exposed because I don't want too much of the stump in the soil. Because I had one of these before and I potted it up and it actually rotted on me. So it starts rotting from the bottom and then it just goes, the rot spreads inside and becomes hollow. Yeah, so with this one I decided to take a safer approach where I didn't pot it that deep and I used a more shallow pot. And then also I used bonsai mix instead of just regular, like my Hoya and Aroy mix. So that's the difference that I did. And this guy seems to be thriving in this. I'm gonna show you the bonsai mix that I use. So I have a little bit of it pre-mixed here. This is what's left of it. So I don't know if you can tell. There's no organic material in here, so you will have to supplement any nutrients with fertilizer, and that's something I do once a month. I don't do it every watering. It's very, very well draining, and this is just to prevent any type of rot. So in my bonsai mix, I usually have perlite, lava rock, I have bonsai block, and I think that's it. I've made a bonsai mix before with like different material. I think I used turfus before, and then pumice, lava rock. It's usually just a mixture of those things. You can make whatever type of mix you want as long as it's well draining. And if you want to use peat moss or cocoa coir, that's fine too. It's just basically testing trial and error and see what works. My Stephania, so this is my Stephania erecta. She is in the same type of mix in this planter here. This planter actually has no drainage, so I water very, very sparingly. I actually just watered her today. I watered all the plants today. So with this guy, you can see I also potted her up about, I would say, a third way down. And again, it's just a potato when you first get it, if it's not sprouted already. Both of these I did root on my own. They just came like a, you know, a bulb, basically, a Caudex. And I just want to mention, because a lot of people ask me, do you water it or when do you plant the bulb or the Caudex? So yeah, I potted them up as soon as I got them, and if it is during like the colder seasons, I would probably hold back on the watering. I watered them very, very sparingly. And I would say it took them, if I remember correctly, at least 5 to 6 months before I saw any movement from any of them. This guy, the Stephania erecta, I had her inside a cloche when it was not sprouted. And that's how I kept her throughout the winter and the colder seasons until I saw some action. Then I would just take her out of the cloche. I don't know if it really matters, but I find that she does sprout a little bit easier when I have her inside a cloche with, I guess, a little bit higher humidity. Honestly, I don't know if that has anything to do with it at all. It's just something that I've noticed worked for this little guy here. So that's what I usually do in terms of once she starts going into dormancy, which I think is soon. I can tell by her leaves. Once she drops this and everything starts drying up, I will probably store her inside a cloche again. That's what I've been doing. I've done this for a couple of years already that I've had her. So yeah, that's basically what I'm probably gonna do. And what else did I want to talk about? In terms of the Philanthus, sprouting wise, this guy took very, very long. I would say close to half a year as well for him to do anything. And once he started growing though, it moved very, very quickly. He really started thriving during the summer season for me, so that was really exciting. His foliage is so beautiful, and I don't know, I'm just so happy with him. And I top dressed his soil as well, you guys can see that. In terms of watering, like I mentioned, I water very sparingly because these are Caudex plants and they do have the ability to store water. So my number one concern with these guys is just to make sure I don't rot them. So the way I water these guys, I tend to like to use this little watering bottle. So it has this little sprout. And I think some people like to use this to water their succulents as well, because it's very controlled and it's every time you squirt it, it's just a tiny little amount, so it's easier to, you know, take control of how much you want to water. And that's just basically what I do. I just kind of go around the base of it and just kind of water it like that. And I really just do very minimal watering. I don't water these guys very much at all. Even during the growing or summer seasons, the warmer seasons, I just basically water them just a little sprinkle around the base and then let it be for like a week or so. So my watering style might be different from other people. If you guys have watched my other videos, you'll know that I tend to water my plants not like drowning them at once. I just like to do little by little, and that's just how it works for me. Yeah, okay. In terms of lighting, I do give these guys a lot of light. I have east-facing windows here in my bedroom, and I give them all of my Caudex plants, either put them right by the window or I have them really close to a window or under grow lights. So I like to keep them pretty well lit. Yeah. So they do get a decent amount, at least I would say 4 hours of really bright and direct light. Yeah. And the last plant I wanted to show you guys is this little guy here. It's this fuzzy little one. It is my Sinningia, I think that's how you pronounce it, Sinningia lutricia. I will put the name on the screen. It is so fuzzy and adorable. Isn't she so cute? And that is her little flower there. You guys can see that. I love her. She is the most whimsical little Caudex. So I actually did not purchase this for myself. My friend actually got this for me for as a birthday gift, and she potted everything up already. So I'm not sure exactly what's in this mix, but she did mention that it is bonsai mix as well. So I didn't move it or anything like that. It came in this cute little pot, which I love, and it has a little tray down here. And she has been thriving. I believe she was already rooted, so really cute. So fuzzy, the leaves are super fuzzy. So this guy I watered the same way, and I give the same amount of light as the other two Caudex that I have. What else is there? I hope I cover most of everything, because I get asked a lot about the my Caudex plants, and I was kind of hesitant at first because I don't really do much in terms of like specific to Caudex plants, because to me they're pretty easygoing. I don't really find that they are fussy plants or anything like that. You just have to be patient, and that's really it. So yeah, so that is that. I hope I answered most of your questions, and if you guys have any more questions or anything you want to ask, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.